Question 4, pretty much exactly the same as question 3, except again, these ones are equations, these were only expressions. So this time we've got to solve these, find the value of x that makes this all equal to 0. Okay, again, it's the difference of two squares. So hopefully we've practiced in that now. We can see that this is going to be x minus 5 and x plus 5. Remember to keep the equals 0 there to remind yourself it's an equation that needs solving. It looks like a 6, not a 0. There we go. Okay, now what value of x would make this bracket 0? X minus 5 equals 0. It's got to be 5. 5 minus 5 would equal 0. Whoops. Just keeping ahead of myself. Okay, and what value of x would make this bracket 0? It has to be negative 5. Negative 5 plus 5 would be 0. Okay, and on to the next one. Slightly harder, like the lower ones in the previous question. Okay, we've got 16x squared, so I know I'm going to need a 4x at the start of each of these brackets. Okay, and negative 25, I'm going to need a negative 5 and a positive 5. And again, it doesn't matter which way around these come. Okay, now this is where this method comes in a little bit more useful when we've got things in front of the x here. So if this bracket is equal to 0, I'm just going to write that as a little equation on its own. Slightly different equation from the one that's actually in the question, because this is now a linear equation, much easier to solve. And we can solve it just by doing things to each side in order to get x on its own. Okay, so I like to draw these lines just to separate my working from the actual equation. Now if I add 5 to both sides of this, we're left with 4x on the left, and we lose the negative 5 that was here because we've added 5 and it's cancelled out. But we have to add 5 to the 0, which would give us positive 5 over here. Okay, and now to get rid of the 4, it's timesing by the x, so we would divide by 4. Okay, so 5 divided by 4, could just write 5 over 4, or you might want to write it as a decimal, 1.25. I prefer to stick with fractions. Sorry. Okay. Now the other one, if we did that one, is going to be negative 5 over 4. Just to show you. Okay, we would have to subtract 5 from both sides. That would leave us 4x equals negative 5 this time. And then divide by 4. That gives us x equals negative 5 over 4.